So James Franklin got fired as the head coach of Penn State. Duh. I mean, let's be realistic. I saw this one coming. You know, it was one thing to lose that game to Oregon, but then you got beat by UCLA and he gave them a 40 burger and they hadn't won a game. People were getting frustrated because for 4 or 5 years where he would have those 10-2, 11-1 seasons and always find a way to lose to either Michigan and especially to Ohio State. Couldn't really win a legit bowl, you know. Yeah, you're good enough to get the Fiesta or the Porcupine Bowl, but you could never win the real bowl. And he was good for the imagery. I think he's a really good coach. It's just that you're coming in Penn State and that whole Joe Paterno thing, and, you know, they want to win, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about the W's, especially against your arch rivals. You cannot keep on losing Ohio State. You cannot keep being, you know, they have expectations. You're a top 2 or 3 team, and you find ways to just lose games. I think he could be a really good coach. I just think that the stakes was high at Penn State, and I think that they, you know, the powers that be is like, look, and then they lost to Northwestern, so they're 3-3 right now. Then they have lost morality. There is something going on where that team just basically quit on him already. Like I said, it's one thing to lose an overtime game to Oregon, a heartbreaker. But then when you get waxed by UCLA, and so I was doing a live stream a couple weeks ago, and the cat asked me, "So you think UCLA got a chance?" I said, "No, Penn State will bounce back." And I had to eat crow. Gave up 42 points. And UCLA just fired their coach, you know. So it's like, yo, you cannot do that at Penn State. You know, they have a reputation. When you coach an elite school, and you got to know this. I tell it to a soul brother, especially because I do like James Franklin. But listen, man, you think Mike Tomlin, he's got to always hear the doubters, and he gets a 500 record. He just can't do much in the postseason, and the Boo Birds come out. Because when you're with a team that's elite, no matter what the level, if you're an elite team franchise, they're going to want you to win. You can't be pulling a winky dinky dog and taking those L's. You just can't do that. And, you know, the stakes is high because they're like, look, Michigan got a chip. Ohio State's getting chips. Georgia getting chips. Bama was getting chips. Clemson was getting chips. How come we can't get no chips? You know, and we ain't talking about no great value bag either. We talking about the real bag, the real bowl. Not the Fruit of the Loom bowl, not the Grapefruit Cup bowl. You know, we talking about a real bowl where we win. And so, you know, his time had pretty much come. I thought they might let the season roll because they owe him a chunk of cake. He's going to definitely get the Brinks truck.